as well as improving the tax base as far as the city of Peoria is concerned. So I want to take my hat off to you for being a part of that, and also again to thank Mr. Bragg and the board for taking on that, because I know the whole purpose of the Community Action Agency is to move people towards self-sufficiency, whether it's in education, whether it's in jobs, and now we're talking about one of the basics, and that's having a nice, decent home to feel good and proud of. Are there any special programs, and I'm going to talk with you, Joy, to assist people in terms of like these homes, would they also appear, although I think the time has run out, such as first-time home buyers or that kind of stuff? Can people also use any of those kinds of things or not?
They can use the tax credit.
Okay.
One of the things that's available for individuals in Spring Grove is we have a mix of market and affordable housing.
Okay.
When you look at the houses, you can't tell which is exactly how it's supposed to be.
Right.
You should never be able to tell an affordable house from a market house. They should all look the same. For those individuals who meet the HUD income guidelines, there is down payment assistance that's available, and that down payment assistance can be up to $25,000 for a down payment. So they could qualify for the down payment assistance, then they could still get the federal tax credit of the $8,000 too, as well as the mortgage credit certificate too. So they can take advantage of all three of those things.
Well, I sure hope if there's some people out there that are thinking about stepping up toward home ownership, that they think in terms of Spring Grove. As I said, to me, the location is perfect in terms of being centrally located when it comes to the most important services that you need, whether they're educational, whether they're medical, whether it's entertainment. And so I certainly hope that people will get on a phone and call you. Do you have a special number at your office?
Yes, I do. The number at the office is 497-1098. Again, that number is 497-1098.
Well, I hope we flood your phones and make sure that whatever is left won't be left long. And I would suggest to people they better hurry up and make their calls so that they might be a part of that luxury living here in Central City, here in Peoria. Joyce, what are you doing now with the Community Action Agency?
Well, there's we're probably the newest program, and that's Shwari Chengo, which means Peaceful Village.
Peaceful Village.
Peaceful Village. And it is a violence intervention and prevention program addressing youth in our community.
Wow, do we need that? Okay, that's great.
Presently, we run now 8 groups. 4 at Manual called Men of Value, Valor, V-A-L-O-R, and then at Tree Wind we have 4 groups as well. We started that, now we're going into our 2nd week in terms of a curriculum that addresses life skills and some basic questions about developing young boys. How do you become a man? You know, what kinds of issues are our boys having to deal with that really a lot of us never had to face at the same age. So I'm very excited about that program. It gives us an opportunity to touch the lives of approximately 130 young boys. So we're very excited about that. And the fact that we have men in our community who volunteered to work with these young boys. We have some recent retirees from Caterpillar. In fact, they formed an organization, Caterpillar African American Retirees. So we have several of them that are working with us. Some of the men who have had some other of the guys have had some challenges in life and have turned their lives around and can identify with some of the challenges that these young men have. So we wanted to be able to show one that you can choose, make good choices, and avoid some of the bumps in life, or you might make choices that aren't as good and run into some problems, but you can still turn your life around. So we have a diverse group of men that I feel very honored to be able to work with.
How does the program work? Like, do they have meetings where they're being mentored, or do you like have group sessions, talk about life skills, or what basically is the format as far as your program?
Well, we have a curriculum that was developed by David Miller from the Urban Leadership Institute out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Great.
David and his partner were both teachers. David was a middle school teacher in an urban environment and saw so many problems that young boys were facing, particularly young African American boys. And he decided he could do more outside of the school system.
Right.
And he developed a curriculum. So we have a curriculum that was written by an African American man for African American young boys, and I'm excited about that. But yes, they meet every week.
Every week.
There is they have a certain rituals that they do every week. We elected to call these men men of valor.
Okay.
Based upon the Gideon story, really, where Gideon was afraid when he was called upon, and but there was something in him that the Lord saw that said that he is a man of valor.
All right.
So these men are speaking positive energy around these young men, and they're that we are insistent that it is a male bonding, if you were, situation, because we just know that it is extremely important that we have some very powerful, strong men who can relate to our young boys, and young boys want to be around men.
Right.
They do, and so it is a weekly commitment. This is done during the school hour. It is a 16-week program. There will be a graduation, and we've already found a second tier program with this. There is a portion of the program that honors age, so that the elder in the group is respected. It was just so interesting to see them come in, and when the facilitator, and I'm outside listening, when the facilitator was saying, you know, who is the elder in the group, and to get that explanation, and then they decided, well, my birthday is this, my birthday is that, and then they formed that circle. Because there's one level of teaching respect for elders. There's also a portion of the rights program that honors their parents and honors their ancestors, and pays homage to the sacrifice that parents have made and ancestors have made, that we stand on the shoulders of other folk. And in the closing circle that they do, they acknowledge that if it is to be, it's up to me. That I will be a man of integrity, I will be a man of my word. So there are certain things that they will say at the beginning and the end of each meeting. And then the lessons will address anything from poverty to racism, to fatherlessness, to all of those kinds of things that are very real. And it also addresses violence and anger issues, and how we make choices about whether or not we're going to engage in that fight or to walk away. What does it mean to be a nerd or a snitch? All of those kinds of things. So it's very real and practical lessons.
Well, that sounds great, Joyce. And as I was listening to you, it reminds me of something that I started in terms of acronym, because I'm always running into men in general, and particularly African American men, who think it's really great to be a macho man. And I took that feeling of being a macho man, and I used the M-A-C-H-O, macho man, M-A-N, and used that as an acronym. Make a child happy often by mentoring and nurturing.
Good.
And it sounds like that is a win-win. The young men can benefit by having an older man to advise them and to nurture them and to care for them and to guide them. And for those of us in the community who have gone down that rocky road, although the roads that we had are totally different from the challenges that young men have today.